The SmartView Wizard's Quick Reports are Excel reports that are built dynamically from the HFM metadata or from selected favourite members. They are very quick to set up and will work with almost any application, and once they have been set up, they don't need any maintenance. As always, the first thing to do is to connect the workbook to a SmartView connection. This will add the POV sheet and the corresponding POV in the ribbon. The first thing we're going to do is choose some favourite members from each of the dimensions. First, we'll select the entity dimension and check the checkboxes of the members we want to include in our list of favourites. Then select the account dimension and check a few key members from the account dimension. And once all the favourite members in each of the dimensions have been selected, you can close the form. Now, when you select one of the dimension buttons in the ribbon, the selected favourites will appear at the top of the dimension tree, making them easier to select when you want to change the point of view. Now let's look at Quick Reports. From the Wizard menu, if we select the Add Report button and then the Quick Report option, a list of some quick reports using the favourite entities and favourite accounts is displayed. To add some additional reports based on key accounts, select the Key Accounts button. Then, from the account dimension, we want to select the accounts that represent the revenue account and the profit account in your application. First, we'll select the profit account. This is the account that appears at the bottom of the income statement. Usually this will be towards the top of one of the account hierarchies, and when you find it, simply select it. And the member label is displayed alongside the profit key account. Next, we'll choose the revenue account. This is typically the account that appears at the top of the income statement. And then we will choose the method for expanding the accounts from the profit account down to the revenue account. The method that works on most applications is known as the upper descendants approach. You may have heard of other functions like base of a member, which will give all the base nodes underneath a member in a hierarchy, or perhaps the descendants function that gives you every member underneath a selected member in the hierarchy. With the upper descendants function, this will take the children of a member and then from the tree take the top member and expand that, and then take the top child of that and expand that, and continue expanding the top child until it gets to the member label that corresponds with the revenue account. Typically, most applications that follow best practice will have built the accounts dimension to follow the upper descendants approach in order to build the income statement. Then, to define the balance sheet reports, we choose the account that corresponds to the net assets account. This is really just the account that corresponds to one half of the balance sheet. In our balance sheet reports, we want to see not only the children of the net assets account, but also the children of the children. So the function we'll select for the expansion of net assets is the grandchildren option. Then we'll choose the account that corresponds to the other half of the balance sheet. And for this account, we'll set the expansion function to children. And finally, we'll select the account that corresponds to the balance sheet total. And once all the accounts and expansion functions have been selected for the quick reports, select Save to close the form. The key accounts and favourites are saved to your PC, so will be available the next time you use the SmartView Wizard. Now, when we select the Quick Reports option, we can choose from a number of reports that are built based on the key accounts or favourites that we selected earlier. Simply check the reports you want to add to your workbook, then select the Add button, and the SmartView reports are added to your workbook. So the income statement and balance sheet reports can be built dynamically from the metadata file based on just a couple of key accounts. The Quick Reports forms allows you to choose from a number of combinations of key statements and favourite accounts or entities. For example, this option is the income statement by favourite entity. So once you've set up the key accounts and a few favourites, the Quick Report option gives you a quick and easy way to run an income statement or balance sheet. Setting up the key accounts is a one-time action for each SmartView connection, but even that might be too much for some users. So if you are a power user, you can copy your favorites file and place it on a network share where other users can pick it up during their setup process. The favorites file will be stored in a folder named after the SmartView connection, which is a subfolder of the folder in which the SmartView Wizard XL add-in is stored. Copy the favorites file and paste it into a shared folder on the network, ideally the same shared folder that contains the metadata XML file for the HFM application. It's then available for other users when they are setting up their SmartView Wizard connection to import this previously set up favorites file that's been saved in the shared folder at the same time that they import the HFM metadata XML file. And that way, a user will have access to the income statement and balance sheet reports as soon as they complete the HFM connection process in the SmartView Wizard.